going to make two dishes that can complement any meal. Two very easy. You could call them salads, I guess, but they will complement any meal. I've made them a number of times and they always work well in my family. The first dish is a panzanella salad. Now there's so many different variations of a panzanella salad that the American people have put on top of the Italian way, and altered it somewhat, but it's all good no matter how you do it. But what panzanella originally was a salad made, a Tuscan salad, I should say, made of tomatoes and bread cubes. And anyway, so we're going to make a version of that. And then we're going to do an antipasto. Now, normally, antipasto, as many of you would know it, what it is, it's your different meats and so forth, like your mortadella and your salami and your capicola and a lot of the Italian meats, and then maybe some shrimp and different things, on a tray, served to you before a meal. Antipasto means, well, the anti means before, and it's always served before a meal. Like a typical, salad is served, towards me. So what we're going to do today, instead of put it all fancy on a nice little dish like we're all accustomed to having, I'm going to actually turn it into more a salad type where we toss up a few, a few items. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some things ready for our panzanella salad. And then we're going to move on to the antipasto, because on the panzanella, what we need to do is we do need to let our tomatoes run out their juices for a little while first. So that's what we're doing. So here I have some, small tomatoes. It's nice to get any, a bunch of different colored tomatoes if you can find them. It just makes the salad look a little prettier. So what we're going to do is I have a little strainer here, and I've got it into a bowl. I'm going to put some salt on these tomatoes, and then I'm going to let them sit for a few minutes. Now, the other thing that we need to have sit for a little bit is we have to do our breadcrumbs, our bread rather, for the salad. And here I've got some bread that I've already broken into cubes. It's nice to get a ciabatta. Of course, I love ciabatta anyway. With any kind of food. But anyway, then all you want to do is cut it up into little chunks like this. Then what we want to do is we want to pour some oil onto our bread like this, enough to get it all soaked. And actually I'm going to put a tiny bit in the pan that we're going to be cooking it in. So mix it up. You want to get them all nice and wet. If you don't want to use the oil, you can certainly use butter. Most of the time I do use butter, if you want to know the truth. Not that I don't like the oil, because oil is good for you. But anyway, I do that. I make French onion soup for my daughter's family a lot. And I always make the croutons. I always do them in butter. And if I leave them sitting there before we serve the soup, they'll have all the croutons eaten before it's time to even put the soup together. So here I go. I'm putting our bread in this pan, and we're going to let that sit for a while. Now, because those need to sit, I'm going to show you an antipasto salad. Little different version than what, like I say, than what you normally see. Whoops! Here's a little piece of bread that got away. Put him back. Put him in the pot there. Today's been a crazy morning for me. Oh my gosh, everything's gone wrong. We've had a lot of high winds, so my hot water tank has gone out, and it takes me forever to get it turned back on. So I think what I'll do is I'll wait and send my son a text and say, hey, my hot water tank is out. Could you stop by on the way home? I wouldn't be asking him if he didn't live nearby, but he lives nearby. So anyway, so that was horrible. Then I was getting some of my stuff ready for our salads today, and I've never done this before. I was squeezing some garlic, out of my garlic press, and it hit me in the face, like right here and on the lip. And do you believe it burns badly? Burns to the point where I had to stop what I was doing. I went and got a cotton ball and was putting cold, water on my face. So word of advice, don't get garlic on your face. Plus that, I'm not too sure how I smell now that I got that on my face. But anyway, as for the antipasto, what I'm going to do first is show you some of the things that I'm going to put in here. This is just a head lettuce, but you can use any type of lettuce, a head lettuce that I've chunked up here. But, you know, I always throw in some lettuce for it if I'm going to do the antipasto as a salad. So that's the first item that I'm putting in here today. But, you know, if you want to leave it out, you certainly can. But it does add another dimension, you know, to the salad. So here, I've got to keep an eye on my bread here. So we're just giving this guy a little mix here. Because I want it to be done. Then, you know, it's up to you what you want to add to your antipasto. Some typical stuff, of course, is salami. And what I did is I go to the deli counter and I ask them, say, you know, would you cut me a chunk, an inch, you know, cut me a chunk from the salami. I always find that's the best way, you know, to do it. And then you bring it home and then you cut it into, you know, nice little chunk size pieces. But anyway, so in goes some salami. Salami, very Italian. And you know what? I dropped my towel. Excuse me, I gotta pick it up. I knew I would drop it. The way I had it sitting there. Anyway, then the other thing that is typical, you know, that they have on antipasto is like mortadella. Mortadella, you can get it and it's got like pistachios in it and so forth. But in all honesty, it's kind of like similar to a bologna or whatever. But anyway, there's also, you know, a ham. So this is just American version, just ham that I'm putting in here. So we're gonna dump this ham in here for the salad, and then cheese. There's always cheese of some sort on an antipasto. Now I today picked Fontina. I like Fontina, and besides, Fontina was one of my mom's favorites. So always kind of makes me think of her. You know, holiday time, and you know, if you aren't fortunate enough to have your mom and dad around, you know, you think about them. You think about them and you get lonely for them. But anyway, so in goes some Fontina. This is for Mom. My mom was an excellent cook. Excellent cook. And then I'm going to add some olives to our mixture here. There's always a couple olives, you know, on our antipasto. And anyway, so we're going to put in, but I bought some marinated olives, and they're quite delicious. You know, you can get the olives with anchovies if you like. You know, make the salad to your liking. You know, buy all the stuff that you like, because whatever's left over, you're going to have to eat, you know. So there are some olives there. Let me put these in this tank here. And then, last but not least, are some shrimp. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip together our dressing first. So let me show you this. I have here a tablespoon of vinegar, and I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And to that, we are going to add, where is my, I'm missing my, don't know where I put it. But anyway, to this, we're going to add some oregano. We can just whip this together first. Maybe I'll do it like this. So I'll just put the vinegar into this oil right now. Maybe I'll switch this around. Do it whatever way you want to do it. Whatever's best. Whatever works for you. You know, just get it so it's emulsified. You know, mix it up. So this is 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and 1 tablespoon of, I used red wine vinegar today, you know, but if you like the white balsamic, use that. Actually, I should have used the white balsamic, only because I actually do prefer the white balsamic vinegar over the red wine vinegar. It just all depends, you know. And here we have, I've got about, I don't know, maybe I've got a teaspoon maybe of oregano that I'm putting in here. And then, of course, can't make anything without this garlic that tried to burn me this morning. So in goes some in goes some garlic. This is going to be our dressing for our salad. So in we go with this. Get it all mixed up. Always remember, you don't need a whole lot of dressing, you know. So that should work like that. Oops, let's see how our bread is doing. Look, I'm burning some of it, it looks like. Nah, doesn't matter, because what you want to do is you're going to get it all soaked anyway, you know, with the tomatoes. So anyway, here we go. I'll just lower it a little bit. Give it a lowering it a little bit there. And anyway, now we're going to put this in here, but guess what? I prefer to use a spatula when I do it. So let me see if I can find it. Yep, I found it. So we'll put this in here like this. This looks good. Smells good. When I do these things and I do them in the morning, I usually never eat, so I'm usually hungry while I'm making these. I mean, I don't eat when I know I'm doing a video if it's something I know I'm going to have to eat. And then, put in some salt to your liking. Salt and the garlic, that's all to your liking. So let's put that in. Let's give this a little toss. Let's see what we have here. There's so many other things you can put in here if you like. But I'm saying to you, do it to what you like. Use black olives for some more color, I even had some peppers, that I could have put in here today. But, as you know, when I'm doing this stuff, I have to be concerned about where it's going to go and who's going to eat it, because I'm old world, which means I do not throw food away. I do not throw food away. The younger generation, they kind of throw food away. It's not too much of a big deal to them. And then, of course, the last thing I'm putting in here, check my bread here. I think those are done. I'm going to turn those off. Our shrimp. You ever notice when you get an antipasto, like in a restaurant, they'll usually always put shrimp in, but there's enough shrimp. Like say there's 4 people at the table, there's 4 shrimp. 2 people at the table, there's 2 shrimp. They kind of always cheat on the shrimp. But anyway, so mix this all up, and like I say, it's really a delightful salad. Turn it in like that. In fact, I can't decide if I'm going to make this for Christmas as one of my dishes, or if I'm going to do this antipasto, if I'm going to do the panzanella. But anyway, that's how this one looks, and I will be putting this on a dish for you as soon as we finish the panzanella salad. So okay, let's set this aside. Looks yummy. Well, maybe I should taste it first. See if we have enough salt in here. Oh God, I can't. Gosh, excuse me. I can't wait. I can't wait to eat this. Yummy, yummy. All right, let's set this aside. Now, how you doing, bread? I turned you off. Okay. Now, on our panzanella. Normally, with the panzanella, if your tomatoes have sat long enough, you're going to get some juice out of it. And because of the time, I'm not going to, I'm not going to worry about that. But we're going to mix our dressing inside this bowl. So let me have a minute, and I will get our stuff over here for our panzanella dressing. Okay. Okay, now into our bowl, you can see just a little bit of juice in here. And these are the small tomatoes, so you aren't going to have as much, tomato juice come out of them. But there's a little bit into the bowl. And that's what we put the salt on for, to get them to, pull the juice out. So we're just going to move this aside right now, and then we're going to mix our dressing in here. And I'll show you how the panzanella goes together. In here, I have a little bit of tomato juice, all right? And to that, we're going to add some shallots. I think these are too many shallots, so I'm not going to put them all in. But these are shallots that we're going to put in here. And then from there, we're going to add, a little bit of garlic. A little bit of garlic going in. Move that there. And then we have some Dijon mustard we're putting in. And as always, on the channel, I'll put the recipe for you. But so we've got all these things in here. Now we're going to put in some vinegar. We've got some red wine vinegar in here, and it's a tablespoon. And what we have is a quarter of a cup of let's move these over here. A quarter of a cup of olive oil. So we want to get this all mixed together here. Let this dribble in here slowly. Now keep in mind that we want the bread to soak up this, soak up this juice here. So that's why we have a little more dressing than you normally would, for a salad. The bread to soak it all up. Okay. Now, we're going to put our tomatoes back in, like that. And then we're going to put our bread in. Okay, we got it nice and crispy. And that's good. So let's try and mix this up here a little bit. And now, it's kind of your decision what you want to put in here. Okay, typical panzanella. This is typical panzanella right here, okay? But over the years, people making it, decided, okay, well, we can put in, a little bit of something else and a little bit of something else. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to put in a little bit of lettuce. Here we go. A little bit of chopped lettuce. And stretches your salad too. Gonna go like that, and put a little bit of that, and then I chose today to, based on the ingredients that I happen to have, I chose today to put in a few more olives, and I say a few more, that's because I put them in the antipasto. I'm going to put in just a few olives, not a whole lot. Then I'm going to put in pepperoni. I love pepperoni. So break your pieces apart. I didn't buy a chunk, I bought these slices. Actually, these are low fat slices. But they're very, very good. Or you can get turkey. And then a few sausage. This is just a mild Italian sausage that we're putting in here. So, doesn't that look good? I bet you want to just come right through and, your telephone or however you're watching this video and eat it. But it really is good. So let's mix this all up, a good mix. And with the panzanella, you should let it sit before you serve it, because you want those cubes of bread to get soft now. So you should let this sit. So let's add a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt. Once again, your salt and your peppers to your liking, So let's go leave these here. Move this over here. Give it a good toss. Now really, these are two such nice salads for anything. I don't care what you're making, and I don't care what holiday you're celebrating. You're celebrating Christmas, you're celebrating Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. You can put this with any of your meals. So I hope you can see this on camera, because it really looks good. Once again, I got to get a little taste. Oh, that's perfect. The shallots always add something to a dressing. That's really, really good. Then what we need to do is we need to get out our cheese. We're gonna give this a little, parm here. And then actually, it depends on how you're serving it. Like if you're putting this in individual dishes for everybody, then add a little more cheese, when you dish it up, and I'll do that in a second. And we want some fresh basil on this as well. We could put the fresh basil. But anyway, if I'm going to serve this individually, I can serve this just out of my big bowls. Or if I'm going to serve it individually, I always put a piece of lettuce on the plate. And I like this type of lettuce. So we're going to scoop this up, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so here we go. And once again, the panzanella rather, it should sit for a good, I don't know, it should even sit for maybe about a half hour, before you serve it. So you could actually get this all, made up ahead of time, and then, when your guests come, then just scoop it in. It's not one of those things you have to worry about putting the dressing on the last minute. So there's the panzanella, and here is our antipasto. You got to make sure when you're serving it like this, you get a little bite of everything on each plate. So get over there. The peppers would look real nice in this. In fact, I have a nice jar of peppers in there, marinated, peppers, or you can make them. But it just looks pretty, the color, if you put the red. See, this one has more color in it, but anyway, that's the way it is. And then let's put just a little, couple little basil on this. Let's just kind of stick it in here. There we go. Let's just stick that in. Oh, maybe we can just put that little shrimp on top of it. Come on, get in there with your broccoli. There you go. There you go. Yummy looking salad. And here we need more of our cheese. Grate a little more cheese on this. I hope those are good to you, and I hope you try them. So, 2 dishes that you can serve, like I say, with any meal. I should just get a fork maybe and take a little bite. We got a fork here. What should we do? Maybe I'll grab a piece of pepperoni here and a salami. I need another bite. I need a bite of the bread, but it really needs to be, sit a little longer. Oh my gosh. That is so good. That is so good. Now, for antipasto salad, let me taste a piece of the ham here. Good. A little bit of lettuce. These are perfect. Perfect. Grab my tea. Have a little drink. Well, I hope you enjoyed these two recipes today, and I do hope you try them. Like I say, anything you're making for the holidays, this will complement back, and see if you like it. Do subscribe to my videos, and do let me know if you have any questions. DonnaElleSorelli@gmail.com. It is the holiday season. Calm down, go slow, and enjoy. And until next time, everybody, siate felici. Have a great day. Bye-bye.